Hi again, this is Professor Innes, and for this week you are starting on your actual philosophy. You've got all the blackboard information and getting to know each other sorted out, and now you can just get into the philosophy. So this is your week where you're introduced to what is philosophy, and we're using Socrates as our introduction because he's said to be the father of Western philosophy. So we're using him. So as you're going to find out, philosophy is about asking questions. We don't find any answers. If an answer is found, it tends to therefore create a new discipline. So if we answer questions to do with the mind, we have psychology. If we have questions to do with the physical world, we have physics. So what we've got left are the questions, still unanswered questions. So as long as we keep that in mind in philosophy, that you do not answer any questions, do not provide any solutions, then you're going to do totally fine. We just ask those questions. Now those questions are to do with presumptions, as you can find out with Socrates. He noticed that lots of people presumed things to be true, but there was no evidence of their truth. It was just a belief. They just believed them to be true. Now, in order for a belief to be true, they have to have a true belief. One has to have supporting evidence. And when Socrates asked these people, such as the poets, to ask the meaning of their words, the politicians, the notion of government, the craftsmen about their supposed wide knowledge of their surroundings, he got no reply from them after he asked those questions. So it just seems that what we have here are just presumptions. Now we philosophers come along, notice these presumptions, ask some questions, and in the case of Socrates, irritate people as a result, because you alert them to their ignorance. Now we philosophers aren't bothered about being ignorant. We're quite aware of it. We don't know anything. It's the big wide world outside that has that view, that they know things. So for us, that's the problem, that they say they know things when quite clearly they don't. So what we have there afterwards are just a load of questions based upon the presumptions that surround us. So as long as we get used to that idea that we are not solving any problems, and we're just asking questions, dealing with these presumptions, then we're going to do perfectly fine. I don't know if there's anything else I would need to describe as far as philosophy is concerned. We have it understood that we are asking those questions, and we're in wonder of the universe and everything therein. I won't want it to sound mystical, because at the end of the day we do ask practical questions, such as what is the best form of government. You're going to do this at the end of the course. People are quite sure about the best form of government. Present day arguments go along the lines of should the government intervene or should it not intervene? What is the role of government? They're basic philosophical questions. The answers are not coming forward because nobody has the proof which one is the correct one. Again, simply believing in non-interventionist government, or, on the other hand, interventionist government, doesn't mean to say it's true. It just means you believe that particular argument. So when we have this consideration about the world and everything therein, then we have these presumptions coming forward. We ask those questions. You'll be doing ethics as well. That is investigating into the different notions about the good. Namely, how are we supposed to act morally good, and which argument best suits that morally good action. And again, how are we going to find the best argument? How do we know it's the best argument? As Socrates has said in his other speeches, we do not have a yardstick or measuring stick to measure what is good or bad. So is it just down to our opinion at the end of the day? I believe that, I don't know, free will exists, for example, when we get into metaphysics. So if I say that I believe free will exists, does that mean that free will exists? Now again, we have got to provide evidence, proof that it exists. We're not in any state going to say it exists because I believe it exists. I have to provide the evidence to support this. And in metaphysics, that's going to be a bit of a problem, because lots of people say free will exists. They say that they possess free will, and it's the foundation of the judicial system. It's the foundation of Christianity. It's the foundation of this academic world you live in here, that we have free will, that we can make choices. But if we can't find out that that we have this free will, then we can't really say that it is possessed by us individuals. So again, we ask these questions based upon there being presumptions out there in the big wide world. And when we get to epistemology, which is the theory of knowledge, we ask that question as well. Do we have knowledge? What is that knowledge? How do we come about that knowledge? Because again, we don't want to presume that we know things. And afterwards work upon that presumption that we are fully aware of that particular situation. Because again, unless we've got the proof, then we're not going to make those claims. Right, so hopefully this has served some purpose. And again, this is your second week, and you're dealing with what is philosophy. You're being introduced to what it is to be a philosopher. Right, I'll see you soon. Well, I'll speak to you soon on the web, within the journals. Let me know if those journal replies are of use. As with any reply I put forward, you're going to do some reading this week, and I'll put forward some comments on the reading. Make sure with the reading that they are substantial. Take note of the instructions that you are supposed to write quite a bit for these reading comprehension exercises. Okay, but nonetheless, let me know how things are going. If you want something changed, or you want more feedback from me, let me know, please. Okay, I'll speak to you soon then. Thanks, bye.